Got it. Live stream.
I think we're on live. How are you,
Okay.
Dr. P?
I am amazingly well. So we are ready to go. Ready,
Set,
go
go
live.
live. How's everybody
All
today?
right. Another day. And remember, tomorrow or midnight tonight, change
Really?
your clock. Change your clocks. Midnight tonight.
Seriously? So we spring forward already?
Yep, we spring forward. I tell you, this year has just boom.
We're in the third month of the first quarter. We're at the end of the first quarter already.
Yeah, it's just like, what? Yeah. Well, I'm doing something.
Have you accomplished the things that you thought you would accomplish by the end of the first quarter?
No, but I'm not disappointed.
Absolutely not.
That is when I put in my grace, and I'm exactly where I need to be at this moment in time. And I will say, on tomorrow, I'm going to see Gladys Knight at the Coliseum, or at the Blumenthal Theater. So that is going to be a very good highlight for me for this year.
How fun is that? And who are you going with, friends?
One of my teacher friends. We're going to go see that. And we went 2 years ago. She's here. She's a great performer. Gladys is a great performer. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And so seasoned at this point. It
yes.
is so wonderful to watch artists who are really great anyway. It's so wonderful, as is Patti LaBelle. And I mean, you could just go down the list, and they're so seasoned that they don't even have to sing as hard or something as they used to, because it's just in the way they cock their head or hold their hand or stand or sit on the stage. It just has so much. It's so rich. Where I used to tell people that I remember going to see Maurice Hines. He and his brother were they weren't twins, but they were tap dancing sensations, and both of them went on to just excel to all kind of levels in New York, in television, film, theater, all of it. His Gregory did an album with he did some work with Luther Vandross. He did a duet with Luther, and I think Luther produced some of the songs, co-wrote and produced some of the songs on his album that he had come out. But I remember seeing Maurice, because Maurice has got to be like a little older than me. So I'm mid-60s. He's like early 70s or maybe mid-70s or something like that. But I saw him it must have been, actually it was like around 10, but it was around like 2011. 2011. So what was that? 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, about 10 years or so ago. And at 60, so he was in his mid 60s at that point. And there was this new, it was a new young duo of brothers. I don't know if they were twins. They might've been twins who were in the show, and they were doing it in DC. But I can't think of the name of the Broadway show. And I don't think they were doing the show full out. I think they were doing, sometimes they take Broadway shows and they do some of the best songs with the choreography and stuff from that show. So these young boys were phenomenal because they could just do all this stuff. But I promise you, and they were good. And the audience was like, ooh and ah, honey. When Maurice Hines came out on that stage, because Maurice used to do all that stuff. He don't have to do all that stuff, because he would come out on stage now and he could just strike a pose. And it was just so much in it, that there was so much depth in it, that you just like, oh, okay. You just having the church experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of artist, that Gladys Knight is.
Oh, wait a minute. And I said, who did I say I'm going to go see? It's Patti LaBelle. I'm going to see Patti LaBelle.
And I did not call her name. I called her name because they are those kinds of artists.
They are, and it's just, I mean, it's what they wear, and I don't know, it's just, and I understand.
It's their presence.
And you
that's
understand,
what it was.
and their songs have meaning. You have a
Well, their
takeaway.
songs have meaning, but their presence give
Mhm.
those songs even more depth because young people, younger people that vocally, young people, younger people, and as they should,
Mhm.
but it's all about the acrobats. It's all about, how many riffs I can do. It's all about all that. And when you get older and you understand the depth of a riff, then the riff don't have to be that long. You can get so deep in a riff that just that
Okay.
short. And
So that's a different word for
present.
me. What does that mean? It's a riff. Is
A
it what?
riff is like, ooh,
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, go on,
oh,
Coach Joanna. Go on
don't play it. You know I'm a songwriter. You know I'm a songwriter.
now.
But that's when they be like when they riffing and or in jazz it's called scatting. And
Okay.
her name was great at doing that. Della, and not Della. What can I think of her name? It'll come to me. I'm looking at her. I can see her.
Hmm.
She was just phenomenal, but she was great at doing that. But most jazz singers really are, and and got and R&B singers as well.
It's like
Uh,
that signature, I guess I could say. You
yeah,
know.
Aretha Franklin was known for riffing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's just like taking a part of the song and taking the last syllable of the song and just playing with it.
Mm, mm.
I don't know why you want to treat me that way.
Okay, so the men really can do it. Like he died. What's his name? He sang "My Father" when I was a child. My father's arms.
You're talking
Yeah,
about Luther Vandross,
yeah, Luther Vandross. Yeah. Okay.
Dancing with My Father.
Yeah, Dancing with My Father. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. One of the greatest riffers ever. Because Luther could he could riff a note for 30 seconds.
Right.
That
Okay.
boy would take that
So
and just
that's what
go
that is
with
called. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know that word.
riffing, just riffing. So
Cool.
young kids like to, well, I don't know what the young kids like to do now because I
Mhm.
don't listen to music like I used to because I was in the music business.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so, but you got a few out there that can handle it, like her. Her can really sing. I don't.
Mhm.
I haven't heard her sing anything where she really riffing like that, but I'm sure she can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's a girl, the girl from, I don't think she's from Nigeria, but whatever she sings, I just love to listen to it. Like, and one song doesn't even come to my mind that she sings, but I really enjoy listening to her when I listen to her.
Well, who are you talking about, though?
I
What does
can't.
she sing? Do you know one of her
That's what I
songs?
think. Is she sings something about shoes? I don't really know. I don't know. I don't remember her name, but she's really good. It may come to me before we end the session,
Okay.
and I'll take a look now to see if I can find her. But yeah. So how was your interaction with your musician? How's that going?
Oh, it is. It is. He's doing good.
Mhm.
Regular kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
needing his own space to do his own stuff, and so but definitely out there working
Yeah. And I
and
think
doing
and
well.
I think too, it's a process. It's not something that just happens. You-
Well, it's been a
That's
process
work.
for a long
To
time. It's been
work.
he's been at this for a long time. So
Okay.
it's not him. It's the systems. For some reason, people think that because you independent that you're supposed to work free. So
Mm,
they pay you when they feel like paying you. And the music industry is just really notorious for paying people when they feel like paying people.
mhm.
And that was one of the reasons it was so easy for me to turn a corner and to get into wellness because I was working with my significant other. He and I had a music production company. He owned it, but I did most of the work.
Okay.
And so, but we ran it together. And I really spent, I would say 60 to 65% of my time trying to get paid.
Okay.
Just re-invoicing and re-invoicing and sometimes sending invoices in as many as 10 times trying to get paid calls. So if I was sending invoices in 10 times, you know, I made about 25 calls.
Okay.
Well, you know, because and they just drag it out. It's just interesting to me that these industries can make so much money and don't want to pay people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even paying them what you should be paying them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you not paying them, but you're not paying them what they should be, and then you're paying them anytime you feel like it. It's just insane. You know,
Well, I
like
don't necessarily
like
know
you
that.
don't have a family, you don't have bills,
That's
you
not
know.
like that's not limited to the music industry. The
Oh,
only
I
people,
know, but I'm just thinking.
the people that will get paid will be those who can cut you off, like your light bill, your phone bill. Okay, you can't pay. We're done. Yep. You don't have electricity this month. You don't have a phone this month. And interestingly enough, people come up with the money. They find the money. So, you know, it's whether you feel it's important to you. And if you didn't need it, if you really don't need it, if you're just a huge megastar, maybe you're making money by doing some other things. I don't know. So, don't know. But it's interesting. I was going through.
Haas is on. Hi, Haas.
Hello, Haas. Welcome to our session today of Ready, Set, Go Live.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. So what else is going on? What else is interesting? I did post. Thank you for commenting on the post. I posted for the Memphis 13. Hopefully people will go. I will do what I'm going to do.
Thank you so much for that. You know, it was so lovely. First of all, I had opened it when I opened it because I tell people I only go into Facebook when I'm getting ready to go into Ignite, right? So
Okay.
like we had a session, we had an Ignite call on Thursday. So that meant that I went in like on Wednesday or Tuesday night or something.
Right.
And I saw it and thought I saw it and I liked it. And I was getting ready to write something. And then, you know, a text came in and I went on to go into Ignite because it was one of the coaches. So I went on in to do what I was doing, thinking that I had responded to it. So it was only yesterday after you called me, I think, and we were on, and we got to talk about that especially since you got the background up, because it was a gorgeous wedding. I think I responded yesterday. Girl, I can't keep up with the days, but it's so interesting. I'm taking a workshop with Coach Liz. Okay. And she's just the best. And anybody that really wants to excel and build their business, y'all need to find Liz Lopez, and maybe we could put her information in
absolutely.
You know, and whatever you call it, the posts or whatever it is that we do, because it was taking her class, her boot camp. I'm in her boot camp right now. It's a 6-week boot camp. We're in week 2. And when I took it I think she offered it like early last summer. Okay. And when I took it, I'm never going to forget this exercise. And she calls them missions, first of all. They're called missions. Okay. And I'm never going to forget, because it was, I need you guys to reach out to 21 people that you haven't been in communication with at least for 6 months. Okay. 21. And you had 7 days to do it, because by the time we had the call for the next week, it had to be done. And so I was like, oh, so the class is on, you know, Thursday. Come Tuesday, I got like 17, 18, 19, 4 more to go. And I was like, oh my God. And then you feel like there's nobody else that I can call that, you know, you haven't talked to in so long, that if you reach out, and it wasn't to reach out for business or anything, it's just to reach out. Yeah. So I round about 18 or 19, I was like, I reached out to someone that I reached out to. I was introduced a year before, right before the pandemic struck. It was the last time I had been in Memphis in 2020. And so I reached out like about March, because I came back to New York on March 9th. So I was reaching out to her like March 6th, because it was one of the last things I was trying to do. And a person who had been in, who had done a workshop with her, they'd done it together, not facilitating, but work, being in it, was the one that was introducing me to her. Long story short, I wasn't able to connect with her. So
Okay.
I reached out to her. I called and left a message and said, what would you think about exploring a conversation about blah, blah, blah. And then I sent an email, not expecting a response.
Right.
Because
You just
that wasn't
going
what
through
the
the
homework
motions
was
of
about.
doing the lesson.
Right. That wasn't what it was about. And the email that I sent it from, I don't even check that much, because I have certain emails based on projects,
Yeah.
businesses that I'm working in. And so I don't like to mix that in with this or that. So I don't go to it that often. So, but for some reason I had to go to it the next day.
Okay.
I saw she had responded to me in 2 hours the day I sent it. So she
Wow.
responded and said, oh, I would love to. I was
Okay.
just shocked. So, and from that, she said, and not only would I like to have that exploratory conversation, but I'd like to include 7 or 8 of my associates. And that really started the ball, and how I ended up doing what got done with the Memphis 13 for the 60th year. And we had a press conference in September 29th.
Okay.
And then on October 3rd, we had a screening of the film at the Withers Collection. And after that, the group of us that worked on making sure that succeeded, just became board members. And Daniel and I had been thinking about the director of the movie. He and I had been thinking about putting together a foundation anyway. And so we just flowed right out of the press conference and stuff that we had done right into members. They're the co-founding board members of the Memphis 13 Foundation now.
Okay.
So yeah, all out of homework. So,
Right.
and I guess I'm saying that. And so now I'm taking it again. And that's why I'm like, if somebody's really trying to work on their business or elevate their business, they should really check out Liz Lopez. And she's on Facebook. Coach Liz is amazing.
Yeah,
And
well, we were
I'm just
definitely
excited for what's going to happen. I'm excited for what's going to happen in the next 5 weeks. That's all I have to say. I'm excited for what's going to happen. And I think it's important, I think people think, oh, I have a business, so I don't need to take a workshop. Oh, I have a business. I think one of the things that we do to ourselves that is of no service to us is think that we get to a certain point in life and we don't have the curiosity to want to continue to learn. Even if you don't want to build your business bigger, you could make your business smaller. I mean, if you want to keep your business small, but you can still make your business more efficient. It can run more efficiently. It can yield you more, compensation and so forth and so on. So absolutely, I'm absolutely excited about that.
And when you talk about whether it's Coach Liz or what you do or many of the other people that we know, I think we need to start someplace. What gets me as a coach for non-native English speakers, that myth about I can get this for free and still move ahead quickly, it seems like it's a no-brainer to me. Yes, you can get it, but it is not going to come to you quickly, because you have to go through this and eliminate that. Oh, I've already had this before. So a lot of times it's replicating something that you've already done, which is a waste of your time. This you already know. But if you want to move with expediency, you need to do your work, do your homework, check out the person that you're going to interact with, listen to people that you believe, and then spend the money and get yourself a coach that is going to move you faster. I like the fact that the person that you're working with, as with my coach, James, he gives us stuff to do. And while it's not necessary for me to understand totally, I trust him. Just trust the process and let's see what comes out of the process. So if you do whatever it is that Coach Liz is asking you to do for the next 6 weeks or so, there should be evidence in that, oh, she does know what I'm supposed to do and why I'm supposed to do it. So go ahead and go through those ranks, and then we'll look at your success and say, you know, if it worked for Coach Dwana, this certainly should work for me. So I just believe in endorsing people who've had a huge impact on my life, like Coach Lisa Nichols. I don't know if we call her, but anyway.
Yes, call her coach. I love to call her coach.
She's amazing. Now, she may not be someone that you want to put in your wheelhouse right now because of, I mean, she goes way beyond just a little bit of something. But if you can afford it, you're going to learn so much and you'll be able to maximize that she teaches you. Because I think what I've learned from Coach Lisa is that even though I'm in other programs, it still comes back that she's got the core. She got that foundation of, you know, how to connect. Now I need to spend time in a smaller area and learn how to connect those dots more. I don't know, but she helps. She can, what I've learned from her helps me to connect the dots. Like, I just love that pregnant pause. Although I was already doing it, now it has more meaning for me when I'm doing it. Okay, this is why I'm doing it, for the impact. I don't know if I was just doing it before because I thought I needed to catch my breath, but there is a reason why we do certain things, and the coach can help us to understand why we do. And you may have to go through 5, 6, 10, 20 coaches, but even coaches, the good ones, have coaches. So we're never above coaching.
Not ever. And I always remember the story that Coach Lisa told about when she was, you know, on Oprah's show. And she was one of the ones that they featured because they did, you know, background story on her and everything. And at one point when they went to commercial break, when she and Oprah were talking, Oprah asked her how many coaches did she have? And, you know, how many coaches do you have? And Lisa was telling her, and then she said, yeah, well, I have like 4. Who would think that Oprah Winfrey would have a coach?
Exactly. And if Oprah Winfrey has a coach and needs a coach, we need one too. We need one too.
Well, I think what they do, I think what we do, and we all can be, you know, helping to teach each other because we all are proficient in our own little things.
In our own little lane.
In our own little lane, in our niches. And it allows you to go in and just pick, you know, like we in Liz's workshop, okay, pick a product or a service that you want to focus on because it's about client magnets. You know, it's how to attract clients. So pick a product you want to sell, pick a workshop you want to sell, pick a singular thing that you want to sell. And that's our biggest problem, you know, for the most part, because, oh, I don't know, should I do that? But I can do this and I can do that and I can do this. And, you know, Liz was just very instrumental because we were in the first Ignite round together. And she was just always very instrumental. She has been coaching me from the very beginning when we were in Ignite class and then got out of that, saying, Dwana, you know, I'll never forget it. She'd be like, Dwana, you know a lot about health and wellness and
Mhm.
nutrition and breath work and all of that, you got to pick a lane. She told me, she said,
Mhm.
you need to pick one thing you're gonna focus on. And she was like giving me 24 hours to do it. And I say, I don't need 24 hours. But it was just the fact that she asked me and she said it like that.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
got to pick one thing to focus on to do. I say, and if it's one thing, what would it be? I say breath work, because to me,
Okay.
that's the root of life. So I will
Okay.
start there. But I
Okay.
talk, you know me, I talk about ion, I talk about the gut health, I talk
Mhm.
about everything, because at the end of the day, it's all connected to being
Mhm.
a healthy person. It's
Mhm.
it's not just the breath that needs to be,
Mhm.
on point. We need to have a healthy gut, so that when we're eating our food, we need to be getting proper sleep. We need to be drinking a certain amount of water.
Right.
And no, and we need to be doing some kind of physical exercise. And
Mhm.
I can go deeper in each of those things, but my focus is breath work.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So when you're picking that lane, as we were talking about the other day, and I said we could do a podcast, and I did post that last week's video. It could be about something specific, but for me, a podcast is for my listening audience. It's all about conversation. So it doesn't have to be a specific topic. It doesn't have to be a specific length. When you get tired of listening, disconnect. If it's a short podcast or a short recording and you want to hear it again, hit replay, listen to it again. What I want to do is to become proficient in just being able to maneuver from click this button when I want it to do this. Okay, click this button. When it becomes second nature, just as if it's as easy as picking up the phone and saying, hello, yes, this is she. I don't have to think about what it is that I want to say. I don't want to have to think about which button do I need to push. I think we're really good now. We're still not perfect in live streaming. Remember when we started, like, oh, can you hear me? Am I there? Why isn't it showing up? Why is this line going over here when it's not over there? But it is through what people don't really find the value in. Repetition builds confidence. Repetition builds that I know what I'm doing. And when you are comfortable doing what you do, and I like to use this analogy of babies, when they first start to walk, they walk so stiff-legged and they feel like they're going to run into something. And they oftentimes do run into something. This doesn't deter them because they have one single focus. I want to walk from here to there. And when they do it and their confidence builds, then it's, Ma, can I borrow the car keys? Oh, it was just a few days ago when you were just learning to walk.
Hello.
So the universe is going to bring to you many, many things that if you just focus on one thing, train your mind to focus on one thing, then eventually you'll be able to look a little to this side, look in your rearview mirror, look ahead. I'm sure, like many other people, when I first got my license, I said, I will never pass a car on the highway. I'm never passing.
Did you really say that?
I said that. You don't have to worry about me getting a ticket because I'm not passing anyone. I'm not speeding.
So the first
Not,
time you passed someone, how did that go? How was that working for you?
I, I was so much comfortable with driving that I don't even remember when I first,
See?
but it was
See?
like, you know what, this person is moving too slow. I'm in the fast lane. I'm in the 65-mile-an-hour highway lane going 70. I don't know what day it was that I decided that I would do it. And this is how you move into things. Just as you're saying, if you want to choose breath work, it doesn't mean that you've forgotten all about the gut and all those other things, but somehow the universe will allow those other things to seep effortlessly into the conversation. Because if you're not breathing properly, you don't have to worry about your gut. You're dead. So don't
Sure
feel
enough.
that you are you have to limit yourself to just this one thing. But when you focus on so many things, or you're trying to chase so many coaches for free,
Uh-huh.
many of those that are giving things to you for free, they're experimenting. They don't know exactly what you need. So they're looking. They don't necessarily know. Well, I already know that in terms of my students. I had a class today just before this one. It's a great class. It's a great class. And she lives in New York. I should ask her, where does she live? She's from one of the Asian countries, but she's been in New York for 10 years. And I understood her perfectly. Her grammar, the structure of her sentences were not structurally sound, but the meaning was clear. The fluency was there. And I was sharing with her that the grammar will come. You just need to understand the practice of what it is that you want to say. So she has this new position, and her job is to receptionist, answer the phone, and direct the call.
Right.
What do I say? So you just say, hello, this is XYZ company. How may I help you? To me, that just sounds like you are a receptionist. But if you're new, you just got this job, I don't think people really tell you to say, hello, this is the XYZ company. And I just take that for granted because that's what I know. And so I was just doing the practice dialogue. Hello, the XYZ company, Priscilla speaking. And if there's no answer, just stop talking, because you want to keep the ball. They called you. Don't give them a reason to ask you several questions. It's to expedite the call. Hello, this is the XYZ company. How may I help you? Or this is the XYZ company, Priscilla speaking. How may I help you? I'm calling about I didn't really want to give what she was talking about.
Well, I can say, hi. I'm calling about the ad in the paper for the new position in the marketing department.
Well, great, fantastic.
I think that it was Mark Ruffalo that I should be, he's so cute. Mark Ruffalo that is over that department is, may I be connected to his department?
Certainly, but before I connect you, could I get a little information about you, please?
By all means, how can I help you?
I'd like to get first, could you pronounce and spell your first and last name?
Those are good questions.
Mhm.
Dwania, D-W-A-N-I-A, Kyles, K-Y-L-E-S.
Okay, and how do you pronounce that again?
Dwania.
Dwania. That's a lovely name. That's a nice name. Say something to make me feel, if it's a pretty name, just say, oh, thank you for spelling.
Well, thank you so much. You're asking me to say this. Thank you.
No, I was just saying how, I was just, giving a little bit of editorial as I was speaking to her. Why do we say certain things? We want to put the person on the other end at ease, make you feel comfortable. It isn't necessary to just dive into, okay, what is your name? What is your phone number? What is your contact information? And well, Dwania, that's a very nice, pretty name. And thank you so much for spelling it. My name is Priscilla. I'm now going to connect you with
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. I'm sorry, his line is busy. Would you like to hold, or may I have him call you back?
Would you have him call me back? My number is 917-599-2359.
Fantastic. Let me just confirm that that number is 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-9-10. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Great. Okay, so that's just one scenario in a situation, and you're done. It's not as if you're making a decision. You're just transferring the call.
That's right.
Now, someone like you or I, but let's just consider that we are non-native English speakers. I don't need to explain all of that, but what I might need to explain to you is that call and response. Once I ask you a question, I need to wait for you to give me an answer. Don't rush on assuming that I know what you're calling for, because this opens the door for more questions that I'm not even prepared to answer. Just answer just wait, address what you ask me.
Right.
Another thing would be, do not hang up. If you called in, I should not be, as a receiver at the company, the first person to hang up. The reason being, if something goes wrong with that conversation, yeah, I called that receptionist and she hung up on me. I hadn't even finished talking. No, you stopped talking. I thought it was over. So no, this is why you wait for the caller to hang up first. Because if it's in a dispute about that conversation, you need to do that. So I think when you find out where you are, what your needs are, I could get another person tomorrow and they are well versed in, hello, this is XYZ company. Well, I don't need to teach you that. We don't need to practice that. I need to teach you more things about call and response. How much time should I wait? Why am I actually waiting? So what is it that you're needing? But when you're looking for free, well, this is what I'm teaching today. I'm teaching you how to say, hello, this is the XYZ company. Well, you don't need that. You're wasting your time. What you need is a little more in depth. And it seems like what your coach is giving you is not that basic something that I don't need that. Or if you are getting it, you're getting it in a different manner. I really like the fact that you've got a call to action to do something. I don't have to know the reason why, or I can learn the reason why as I'm going through it. But to take the time to just say, well, you're going to do XYZ later on. No, just tell me to do it. And this is what I consider my greatest success. Just tell me what to do. I don't question it. That's what James said. Priscilla, don't get ahead of me. Just do as I say, and the results will be there.
Right.
Okay. So, and results are showing up. I'm in a different program now, and I'm getting different results. I don't know if you know this story. You do, because it's just a great sales story. The Greatest Salesman in the World. Do you know that book?
Yes.
By Og Mandino. So I'm reading every day, not even reading it. I recorded my voice reading it with music behind it. So that's my meditative stance that I do. I do it more than 3 times a day, but once in the morning before I go to bed, and sometimes through the day, and sometimes I just let it play. And just that one. And what it says is that I would not let something deter me because others are waiting for things to just come to them in their hand. My hand is always out to receive. That's not what it says, but this is how I'm interpreting all of these. Even an ant can devour a lion. We know that we can eat an elephant one bite at a time. But, just everything can be done in tiny, minuscule amounts. Just know that there's an end, there's a beginning and an end to whatever it is that you are seeking. So when others are sleeping, I'm going to go another hour until I reach success, until I'm confident that I did all that I could do. Doesn't mean that I'm going to just like, get up at 3 to be able to say that I did something by 6. I think you asked me how has things rolled out for me. I'm okay with where I am because I have done what I feel is sufficient. And when I feel like I want to do more, I'm not looking at how far ahead someone else is than me. I just know that this is my race and I'm running my race at my own pace. So,
and you're only in competition with yourself.
And I'm only in competition with myself. And I just love that. And when people can come to that realization,
life is less stressful.
Life is less stressful. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to have some stressful moments.
Right. It's just less stressful.
But it's less stressful. And I think that you're talking, I don't know, one of the people, it may be Dr. Buttar, who talks about who change your mind, just stay in the present. I can't do anything about what happened yesterday. Yesterday is gone. If it means turning on the music, turning up the music to get into the present, because you can't occupy, two things cannot occupy the same space. Yesterday is gone. I've got right now, and now right now is gone. So you just stay in the present, and life is good.
Absolutely. I agree.
And it's so simple, it's scary. It is so simple that it is scary. And let's just explore what you said about those 21 people that you were supposed to connect with. Okay, well, you were doing two things. You were completing the assignment, and look at the bonus. Look at the bonus you got from doing so.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, and that wasn't on my agenda. I would not have done that.
Mhm.
I knew for the whole year, I've been like, I should reach out. I should reach out. And even when the mission was given to us, she wasn't one of the first people that I called. She literally was like 18 or 19, and I'm literally doing it because I don't want to show up online and I don't have my homework done.
Right.
I cannot tell you how much stuff has happened just because of that.
Mhm.
So it's one thing for us to take a workshop or to have a coach and show up and do the work.
Mhm.
Or, people are taking all these workshops, they're doing all these things, and they're not showing up and they're not doing the work. And you're like, what?
And you want to know why isn't something working?
Yeah. So it's just so interesting.
Hi, Carla. Hi, Carla.
Is Carla's here?
Yeah.
Oscar's on. Oscar is a hey, Carla girl, but Oscar's
Oscar.
on, and Denise was in for a minute too. So.
Okay, well, thank you guys for showing up. And really, although we're in the first quarter, or we're coming up on the end of the first quarter,
right?
I'm okay with where I am. I'm okay with where I am and what I'm doing, but there is power in routine, or I don't know if it was routine. There's one book that says The Goal of Habits or something, but it talks about, no, don't set a goal, just create some habits, which could equate to the same thing. So it just depends on how you want to look at the word. Yeah, you want to have some goals, but if you just develop a habit, if you want to save your teeth, your goal should not be to brush your teeth every day. I mean, it could be, but your habit should be save my teeth, let me brush every day. Then you probably will have a good chance of saving your teeth, So goals or habits, whichever one you prefer, just choose something and just start. And what you envision happening, having straight
teeth.
The
habits are what help you be successful in your goals. Because if you have good habits, like if you're taking a workshop and you're actually doing the homework, and just like you've been working with James you're in your
going on 2 years.
You're in,
going to year 2.
Year, right? But you do the homework.
Yeah,
you do the work.
I do the work.
And I think people get overwhelmed sometimes because they're trying to do everything. And it's not always that everything is what you should do, because you might be at your stage in your business where everything doesn't even really pertain to you. But the point is to know it, because it will come. You will get to the point where you will be able to use that information. So being exposed to it is like having seeds that are planted, So,
planting those seeds.
Yeah. So do the homework that you can do.
Yeah.
Do it well.
And do it well. Do it to the best of your ability.
Because that's how you grow your business, or grow whatever it is that you say you want to do. That's how you become successful in doing it. I just have to say that if I did not keep myself, whether it's Lori's social media class, which, you know, I need I need to get back into social media on a level, you know, and because it changes so fast, you
Yeah.
know. But if it's not that, if it's not Michelle, Lakeisha Michelle, you know, in
Mhm.
sales, or, you know, with Liz, really focusing on, okay, now how do I get clients so I can have some sales?
Right.
And each one of them are proficient in what it is that we just said, but they're all three different things, and all
Mhm.
three of them are my coaches.
Mhm. And as again, I say, you just choose if something is 6 weeks, if hers is 6 weeks, focus on that. But over in the peripheral, there is something else, but I can't do that right now. I can't do it. I can kind of like glance over it, but no, let me stay focused and let me be clear. I'm doing this one thing and I'm going to do this one thing well. Coach James has me focused on doing a lot of things, and we have, since I'm in yet another part of his program, I think is level 3, which is his top tier now. Um, Within that tier, I have 4 or 5 other coaches, but they're all in the package of what I've purchased. So once I finish with this one coach,
Yeah.
I'll go on to another coach, and I can say with this, well, it's for 12 months. It's 10 months, but I work at my own speed. If I start with one coach, the next coach is going to be curriculum. I think maybe like writing curriculum.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to work with this person, but I still have 12 months with them. And like, okay, I think I'm on a roll. I think I got this. I understand this. Oh no, I missed something. I can go back to that coach for, rethinking, re-strategizing or whatever. Then I have one coach is helping me with the videos. Okay, when I start to do the videos, no, I don't like this video. What's wrong with it? Well, try this. So all of them are there, but I'm only tracking one of them at a time. And when I finish with the one that I'm on now, that is working with my mindset. This is why I was saying that I have this mantra of the scroll mark 3. I will persist, and I listen to it every day, every day, every day. That it's going to be like, I don't have to really think about it. It's just a part of who I am. And at the end of the 12 months, I should be in a very good way. I still may need another coach, because what he says is that he's not teaching us how to set up funnels. That's not what he does, but he's getting us in a position. I know what a funnel is, but that's not what he's teaching me. And I'm not ready for a funnel as such. So it's
Yeah,
just,
I think some great advice for people that are looking for coaches is to and looking to either build a new business or to you know, recalibrate the business that they have already, is to don't try to do everything so fast
mm-hmm,
and enjoy the process and really, really have fun and enjoy the process, because so many times we get the project that we want and we're excited when we get it, and then we're
mm-hmm,
overwhelmed and stressed because, you know, things might not be happening like we had planned them to happen in our
mm-hmm.
mind or what have you. And so by the time and you know, and then, you know, all these wrenches are thrown in and you're just all over the place, but you
We're
finally
distracted.
reach your
We're
goal. A
distracted.
lot of times people reach their goal and they thought they would feel different. They thought it would feel better. It's important to feel whatever it is that you think you're gonna feel when it's done. Feel that now,
Mm-hmm.
in the
Okay.
moment that you're working on it. And if we feel it now, then we're better able to handle whatever comes into the equation as we're getting to the end goal. And so by the time we get to the end goal, we've been feeling so good working up to the goal that that's the feeling that we're really looking for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the feeling is, I don't want it to be over.
Right.
I know when we were doing Speakers Mastermind
Yeah.
in Florida, and the group of us that were working, we just had such a good time. We weren't ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
We were like, what? Tomorrow's the last day? We
Yeah.
were tired. We were tired. And that was the only reason we were like excited, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, yeah, we were sad. We were sad that that was getting ready to be over. But
And
we were
that's a good.
all so invested
Mm-hmm.
at such a high energy level that every day just kept getting better and just kept getting better and it just kept getting better. And then you get to know the people more and more. And then, oh my God, it's time to go. It's like, can we have 2 more days?
Yeah. I remember Coach Lisa would say, she would say, and today is just day 2.
Right?
And then, and there's more. And then it becomes like, we've got 1 more day. Like, oh my gosh, and I've learned so much. Then my charge is to go and implement, put into practice, utilize that what I have. Don't go home. Don't go back to the old way. You may have to cut off some of the people that you used to associate with, because if they're not going in the same direction that you are,
Yes.
they're going to be the ones that will probably hold you back. Why are you doing that? I wouldn't do that. That doesn't make any sense. You know, you could make a whole lot more money just by doing this. Yeah. And you'll be a greeter at one of the stores while I'm sitting at the beach with straw in a glass, because I did.
What's in that glass? I'm just playing.
Well, I didn't want to say, so I'll just let anyone put whatever they want in their glass, but you can just be sipping on it at the beach. So it's about making choices. And the sooner you make the choice as to which direction, and it's never too late. There were people graduating. I think a lady was 100 and something, was graduating from high school, graduating from college. Like, really? Yeah, because she had this desire to continue to learn. So if you're willing to put in the time, the world is your oyster. Whatever it is that you want, whatever you can see yourself doing, and you're willing to put in the time and the work, it is there for you. And you can do it for free too. You can spend a lot of your time researching information on the internet and find something that you can do. You may have to go through a lot of videos. My son's father was telling me at the wedding, at my son's wedding, that he's Nigerian and he's starting a business in Nigeria. I don't know what to call it, but it's like he'll be promoting fish. They eat a lot of fish there. So he's building a fish factory where they will harvest the fish, you know, grow the fish, sell the fish, maybe even cook the fish. And I just thought, wow, you're the same age as I and retiring. That is a huge, huge business to start now, but you're building for the future, not necessarily your future, but your name will be there. People will remember you. You will live long afterwards. So I thought that that's amazing. So when I hear of a person,
So what? I'm sorry.
not necessarily. So when I hear of a person, hold on, your name will be there. People will remember I open up my, you know me, I'm looking, trying to share, and that's what you're hearing. I can't find it. I turned it off.
So it's all right.
So when I hear,
I was just going to, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you've got the background from Coach Lisa's and Marcellus's wedding, and we've only got about 6 more minutes. So I think that we should chat about the wedding. And I'm so glad that you called, because if you had not called, and I'm so glad that I called you back, because I was getting ready to make another phone call. And I said, no, let me hit Priscilla back, Dr. Priscilla, because, you know, I was on a call. I think I was on a Zoom call when you reached out, and but I was on my phone, and I'm so happy that I did, because it was so beautiful. And I would have to say that I'm going to have to, the next time I see Danita in person, because when I say she handled that thing, I had fun because of her. The way she did that was just, somebody in the chat said, all right, Gail King better watch out. Then
She
just
she
started
did
laughing.
she
She
did
was
an
so good
she
yesterday.
did an
She was
amazing job.
in her. I ain't never seen her that good to me.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know,
She was
she was
good. She
just
was really good.
in
She kept us
it.
engaged, informed,
She did. She
and
did.
lively. Yeah.
She asked the right questions, and
Mhm.
she would, and it wasn't planned. It was like,
Oh.
who's here? Who can I
Mhm.
get to right now? Who can I get to later? And she really, she chatted with such a great amount of the guests that were there. I really kind of felt like I really felt like I
Mhm.
was,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
I love how you just switched that background. I
You
don't know
know, one
people.
of the
I don't
things
know who she thinks she is. People,
I know,
I don't know people.
one of the things that I appreciate about Lisa Nichols is that, and it's what, I don't know who said it, but they said the more people you help get what they want, the more people will help you to get what you want. 98% of the people that participated in this event were from the Bahamas. Do you know how many more people are going to be reaching out now to be a part of Lisa's community because of, and it just warmed my heart. That chef, she could cook. When I was there in the Bahamas with Lisa, that that cook, she was just a chef. And now, boom, she has blown up, and she spoke and she says, I think she was saying, I don't know about Lisa, but this probably meant more to Lisa. Lisa probably think this day meant more to her than, but for her, this was her day. The chef, the things that she was able to do, the people that she's been able to interact with. And I was just like, yes, that is how you do it.
Absolutely.
You just
elevated to that level. I just love Lisa, Coach Lisa, because it's like, this is my wedding, so it's gonna be the way I want it to be.
yeah.
And I know she had people to help plan it and help execute it and everything. But the fact that she decided that she was going to get, wasn't red, but it was like such a royal red.
Like a wine,
A deep cranberry red or
yeah.
pomegranate red. It wasn't like the red I have on my lipstick, because
Yeah.
even red, and it was kind of like it, but that red has got purple in it too. Because I put the red on the inside and then the purple, and then I blend it together. So it was so gorgeous. And she's always, I don't know if the person, because I know that had to be a drone that was taking the shots from above.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that when she hit that white runway to walk down to Marcellus, everybody, all the stuff was white. Everybody was dressed in white. She got this red dress on, walking down that white. Then they did that shot from up, and you could just see that red. You could just see that red moving.
Yeah.
So it was, because you wouldn't have been able to see it like that if people had just worn anything that they wanted to wear.
Exactly.
So, and the fact that she was like, first time married, but I don't have to wear no red. I don't have to wear white. I just like, what the hell of red did you want to have?
Yeah. So it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And she just seemed to be so happy.
It just looked like royalty.
Yeah.
I mean, she just looked like a queen. The way she had that piece that went that way, it kind of looked like Baines, but it wasn't. It looked, and the way she had the hair up, which I think was really, because I know it was warm. I know it was hot there. So to have all that hair up instead of having hair down,
exactly. And it gave her height. It gave her some height too.
Right. And he's so tall.
He is so tall. He's so tall. And the way that, we felt a part of the wedding. Danita made me feel like I had the best seat in the house.
That's what I'm saying. She was on her job. Like,
she was on her job.
Danita, who are you? I mean, she had me dying.
And I tell you,
when she was like, baby. Oh, baby, y'all just don't know. I mean, she was in her element.
Yeah, and Lakeisha was there. Did you see Lakeisha?
I was so happy. Lakeisha was there, and it was like I would think like, oh my God, I don't see Lakeisha, but everybody came in and did their part, and then at one point I was like, where's Margaret? I haven't seen Margaret. And it was like, I would say it, and this is when they were dancing and stuff. They were doing, the carnival
like the
dance.
marauding.
And then I see Margaret up in the camera. Yeah, I was like, that's my girl, that's my girl,
So Margaret had difficulty getting there. Her sister passed away. She was
Oh,
supposed
she
to go.
did?
She was supposed to go earlier, but her sister passed away, so she stayed 2 weeks. Then when she got to the airport, something was wrong with her visa, but she told Lisa, I'm coming. I might not make it to the wedding, but I'll be there at the reception. So she didn't get to be there in the wedding, but she got there and she was dressed. So she said she was not going to go.
I wondered why I hadn't seen her, because
Yeah.
I would have expected to see Margaret early on.
Yeah, exactly. But it was because of that. So she was
When
there.
her sister passed, I'm so sorry to
So
hear
2 weeks prior, because she was supposed to be there 2 weeks before to be there with
wedding.
Lisa.
Right.
So I guess like on the day that she was supposed to come, maybe that's when her sister transitioned. Did you see the father, her daddy?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Hi, daddy.
Right. Right.
So daddy had a watch party.
Yeah.
And
He had
party
about
for
4
her.
or 5 people there with him. you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was just beautiful how her brother walked her down to the end of the steps. That was her brother.
And then Jelani.
And then Jelani walked her
Yeah.
to Marcella. Girl, it was just emotional.
And her mother
Right.
is the diva. Her mom.
Such
Oh
a
my God.
diva. She's such a diva. First of all, she don't look like her mama. She looked like she her sister.
Her sister.
That's first of all. And
Did
the
you
fact
see
that
her
she's
sister's
living in
baby?
the Bahamas now, the fact that she's living in the
Yeah.
Bahamas, you heard
Well,
that.
did you see that baby? Lisa's younger sister baby with the glasses on and the little girl?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I did. I mean, you called right on time, because by the time I got in, and I was trying, but so I didn't get on camera because I'm house sitting, so I didn't have anything white first of all, and getting the background, I was just like, I don't even feel like trying to figure all that out right now.
Well, a lot of people were on and they didn't have their background. A lot of people just had their name because they were at
but
work.
the folk that were on, they were dressed, girl.
Yeah.
They were dressed so cute.
We
and when
saw.
I tell you people were partying, because a lot of folk were up when they was dancing. When they finished the carnival, two of my favorite songs, the Beyonce, the wobble. So once they finished the carnival portion, which was a lot, with the live musicians, then they did the wobble song, and then after the wobble song, they did one of the other songs that Usher did.
Well, that playlist was off the chain. I just love that playlist.
It was just so, and folk were up. I'm talking about on Zoom. People were up dancing their butts off.
Yeah.
So the experiences that we have in life, and that's kind of like was the takeaway for me. We get to create it. Why aren't we? Why does it have to be a wedding? We should be creating stuff like that in our lives every day. We should be dancing in our lives every day. We get to choose. If I feel like dancing right now, which I do, honey, I don't think nothing about turning YouTube on and putting the wobble on when I get off this call with you. And I'll just be wobbling up here all wrong by myself, girl, having the best time.
Exactly.
And that
we get to choose. We get to choose. We get to choose.
Our choice. It's our choice. And let's make better choices.
Let's make better choices and improve our life starting today.
And be happier.
Yeah.
Because when you're happy, you're healthier.
All right, let's let our audience go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Of course, we will be back on next Saturday.
And don't forget
and sharing more interesting information. So go out and make it a great day. Enjoy your life.
And don't forget don't forget to spring forward.
And don't forget to spring forward tonight at 1 p.m. or 12 p.m. Something like that. Anyway, when you wake up in the morning, it should be an hour. Your clock should be an hour.
12 a.m.
Well, yeah, it should be an hour early. All right. Any parting words
No,
for
you
you?
gotta spring forward. Yeah, we're gonna lose an hour.
Okay,
So at 12 a.m., put it to 1 a.m.
yeah,
wherever you are,
exactly.
whatever zone you're in. Okay.
Okay,
And
anything else?
until then, next week,
We got to ready,
set.
go live.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thank you guys. And we will see you next week.